A few weeks ago, there was a reveal trailer for The Building in Under a Rock, which is an upcoming survival game. It's one that's been on my wish list since I first came across it. And today they're going to be showing off the combat. So this is going to be the trailer that's available on YouTube. You can check it out for yourself if you want. I'll leave a link for it in the description down below. But what I want to do is I want to take a look at this and give my thoughts on the combat. I also got some additional footage from the developers themselves that is not in this trailer, so stick around so we can take a look at that a little bit later on. So Under Rock is a survival game where you are on a fantastical island, and you'll notice here we got giant crabs. There's cave people, cavemen, cave women that you're fighting against. There's some fanged cats or cat-like creatures there. And one of the things that came out of the last video where they showed off the building, which looks really cool, is what's the combat going to be like? So I'm going to let this trailer play. It's only like 90 seconds. And then I'm going to go back through it and kind of point out the things I noticed from it. And then afterwards, I'll take a look at the additional footage that I was given, which is actually going to show off like full-fledged combat. This combat right here is kind of like cut. There's only like a couple seconds from each segment of it. But the other video is actually going to have like full-fledged combat all the way through. So that's the trailer right there. Let's go back through and watch it one more time. I'm going to pause periodically just to kind of show off things that I'm noticing here. So first thing that I noticed when watching this is there's quite a bit of variety in weapons. There's melee, you can actually throw weapons, and there's also going to be ranged weapons. It also appears that there's going to be parries in the game or perfect blocks, and there's also dodge rolls. I also noticed that I don't think there's stamina, at least not from what I've seen. So here we had a caveman, and then we have a dodo. You'll notice here the caveman is actually like waving you to come fight him, and you're coming towards a portal. In the background, there is a much larger caveman. I don't know if that's like a mini boss or something. So right there, we notice there's some dodge rolls, and then we'll just go back a little bit. So we had dodge rolls going into this combat, or so you can dodge the attacks. There's also visual effects when you knock them down. Something else to point out is going to be that there's numbers on the screen. So some games do this, some games don't. I know a lot of people like to see numbers so they can feel the impact of what they're actually doing. On here, you're going to notice that we're seeing damage numbers that we're dealing to the enemy. Up here, we have a health bar, which has a number on it. In this case, there's only 30.2 left. So it looks like we maybe have like 100 HP total here, maybe a little bit more. There's also a little countdown here for the food that we've eaten. And then there's also a bandage up here, it looks like, with a countdown timer. I don't see any stamina bar on the screen from what I've seen, but you'll also see here that the creature has a bar at the top, which is their health bar, and there's a bar below, which I believe may be the stagger meter or stun meter. So like once that fills up, they'll actually be stunned. And you'll notice here that the creature has a level of 2. Here's a different creature. Hitting them knocks them back. It looks like the creatures each have different attacks. And then here we have the ranged attack here where we have a bow. Again, I don't see any stamina. You can actually throw spears here. So those are, and then this one's pretty cool here is going to be, let me pause it. Oh, I missed it. Hold on. Let's go back just a little bit here. We're going to let this play. And man, I missed it again. Sorry, I'm watching this as a downloaded video. It's not the actual, the YouTube video. You'll notice here that this is a club, and the club is actually some type of fish. It almost looks like a piranha club. So that is pretty cool. And you'll notice there's a pretty decent variety of enemies here. We had some small cavemen, this might be a troll or something like that, and then also the different creatures. And you can stagger the creatures here. There's the perfect block right there, or the parry, which lets you get an attack in, extra attack in. There was also, we'll let this go here and I'll pause it. Hopefully, oh, I missed it. Wanted to point out the fact that there are weapon skills that get leveled up here. So once we finish the attack there, level up axes. So using your weapons appears to level them up. There's also, it's going to be hard to see here because I have it paused, but there's a little meter here that's like a, I don't know if this is our block meter. It has like a little shield with a meter behind it, but it looks like using weapons will actually level them up. And obviously the health, there's multiple foods up here you can eat. So again, I don't see any stamina. I don't see any hunger or thirst. I don't know what this up here means. But overall, the combat in this trailer looks pretty cool. And this trailer is available on their YouTube channel. Like I said, I'll leave a link for that down below. But now I want to take a look at the other video that I got a copy of, which actually shows more like full-fledged combat as well as some other stuff. So let's take a look at that. So here's some additional B-roll footage they shared with me. You'll notice here that you can actually get what looks like you can transfer all your stuff over. We have a backpack here. The backpack looks like it has substantial storage capacity. This is a pet. The pet gives you extra carry weight, so that's pretty cool. You can equip a pet there. You're going to equip your armor. So that's a wooden armor there. And And we're gonna head out. They're gonna head out in the world here. This is gonna show up the combat. At the bottom, you can see there's a shield, an axe, some type of bone weapon, a spear. This looks like. Then there's a. This is the bow and arrow. Then there's some food. So we got some berries, some type of drink, and then the last one's gonna be the throwing spears. Bottom right, that looks like a glider. So there's also a glider. We have a little mini map up at the top. One cool thing here that I wanted to point out was the fact that the enemies or the creatures in the world are fighting with each other. So we have what looks like a caveman here fighting some type of giant rabbit. Again, something I pointed out before, we got the numbers here. There's also the creatures have different levels. This looks like the health meter, and I believe this is a stagger meter or a stun meter down here. So we'll let it play out a little bit. Notice we attack them during the attack. So it looks like you can like lock onto an enemy as you're fighting them. We get different sound effects when you're actually attacking them. You can knock them down. You can dodge roll away. So it looks like they're, I don't know if, and then back here we have enemies attacking each other as well. There's resources being picked up down here. Off in the distance, there's a tree falling down for some reason. Here's looks like a cave woman. So she's got like a jump attack there. So that's a little bit different. So each of the enemies looks like different attack patterns. These look like they're probably basic enemies. This one's only level 3. So maybe they're going to be easier to deal with. So that was just a regular block there. There's a parry or a perfect block. And I didn't notice. I want to actually go back and watch that one more time. See, does the perfect block build the stun meter up or anything like that? So they're doing that. Let's see. Let's see what happens with a regular block. Does the stun meter... So a regular block doesn't do anything. The perfect block maybe attacking... I don't know. Maybe... So it looks like the yellow bar is going down. So maybe as that goes down, their stun goes up. So we picked up some bones and some wood there. Here's the ranged attacks. And one thing I'll say is the combat looks pretty decent. It looks pretty fluid. We'll only know for sure once we get to try it out ourselves. So there they leveled up the bow. So you can level up different weapons and stuff like that. Here's showing off throwing the actual weapons at the enemies. Yeah, I'm definitely curious what that bar is. I don't know if that bar at the bottom... Maybe it's a stun meter. Maybe it's not. But this is like some type of lizard or, I don't know, giant bug or something like that. And it's dying before the meter fills up at the bottom. So perhaps it is in this case, it's not. So I'm definitely curious to see what happens. Does it get stunned before the meter goes down? Or before the health goes all the way away? And yeah, definitely, that's what it is. The bottom bar is like a stagger or stun meter. So once you fill that completely up, the enemies fall down. So that's the entire thing. I'm going to go back through it one more time and just kind of see if I missed anything while I talk about it. But I would say this overall, this game looks like it could be an amazing survival game. It's coming to PC. It's also coming to consoles. It's going to be on PlayStation 5 as well as Xbox Series X and S. Let me just mute it real quick. Well, we'll just let it play. It's definitely like something I'm looking out for. It's been on my radar for a couple of years, and I'm definitely interested in seeing. They're showing it off bits and pieces. Like I said, I'll have a video which will be linked at the end if you want to check that out. That shows off the building. The building looks phenomenal. There's like lots of customization in the building, and the combat looks like it's pretty decent so far. One thing that can make or break a lot of games is the combat. Sometimes a lot of survival games have average or below average combat. This looks like it's decent combat, but again, if we get to try it out, if they put a demo out at some point, we can actually get to feel it for ourselves, then we'll know for sure. But I like the fact that the enemies interact with each other. I like the fact that the enemies have different attacks. I like the fact that I can see numbers. Like, I want to know, like, if I upgrade my skill or if I upgrade a weapon, how much extra damage it's doing. Like, if I'm using a different type of weapon, like maybe the spear is better against this guy instead of an axe, like, or if I get a crit, do the parries actually matter? Being able to see those numbers on the screen gives you immediate feedback in terms of like what your actual power is and if you're increasing. Having the targeting there, I don't know. I know some people like targeting enemies, some people maybe not. So I don't know if that's. It looks like it's definitely targeting because it's locking onto it. So locking onto the enemies, I'm fine with that. I don't know if it'll be a feature you can turn on or off, but I'm definitely fine with that. I like the fact that you can stagger the enemies, and I like the fact that they actually shared this, so it's like the full combat, because after watching the original trailer, I was like, okay, this is pretty heavily edited, so like, what's the actual like full-fledged combat look like? I'm definitely feeling more confident that the combat in this looks pretty decent, but again, once I feel it for myself, I'll definitely have a better idea of what it's going to entail. But overall, I'm really looking forward to this game. If it's something you're interested in, make sure you put it on your wish list as to looking forward to when it's coming out. There's no release date just yet. We don't have a demo. There's no demo date or anything like that available, but like once there's a demo for this, I'm 100% going to check it out. If I get access to trying it out myself, I'll definitely be making content on it at some point in the future. Let me know if you're interested in the comments down below. Once again, if you want to see the building stuff, there's going to be a video appearing on the screen right now for you to check out if you want to check out that and see what the building looks like for it. But anyway, this is Under a Rock, an upcoming survival game coming to PlayStation, Xbox, as well as PC at some point in the future. If you found the video interesting, make sure to hit the like button. Consider subscribing for more content just like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.